Everyone, it's me, Donna. Okay, I'm making this video because I am taking another DNA test, as if I haven't taken enough already, but I had a little extra money, so I thought, what the heck. So anyway, there's this company called CRI Genetics. I'm sure some of you have seen the commercials lately. What caught my eye was the fact that they talked about being able to go back further than the average DNA company, supposedly. Um, and so I thought, well, what the heck? Why not? And plus, they provide a timeline uh, that kind of lets people know when certain ancestors and all that came into the picture. I guess given that it might be one ancestor, even though I know under a lot of circumstances there can be more than one ancestor that gave you what they gave you, but maybe it will help give more of a timeline because, well, let me start off by saying, as other folks out there may know, um, companies like AncestryDNA.com and now 23andMe, they are opting to not include your smaller pieces of DNA in your ethnicity report. That's why all the ethnicity reports have changed so much, so drastically, and a lot of things have gotten dropped off. I know definitely it has for me. Uh, I'm very disappointed in this. I think that it only tells half the truth for a lot of people. Uh, because if you think about it, the average person has between 7,000 and 4 to 500 centimorgans. And when a company only uses maybe 6,000, 6,800 of those centimorgans, then they're leaving out the rest of that stuff, the smaller stuff that you might have gotten from like a fifth or sixth great grandparent and on further back. Um, that's disappointing because I want to know. It seems like they're going more towards the way of um, health reports and all that. I, for one, I'm not too worried about that at this point in time. That's not what I'm looking for when I do DNA tests. I'm looking for ancestry. That's the point for me. And it just kind of irritates me that they're more focused on that. And so in order to save money and database space, they're just dropping the smaller stuff. Say, for instance, on Ancestry, I think they're dropping stuff that's below like 7, maybe 6 centimorgans, because I know on your cousin matchups, it won't go below 6. Like, that's the cutoff point for that. And that usually includes maybe from your 8th cousins on back. So that's gone. Like, you might reach a few 8th cousins if they meet the upper part of that threshold, but anybody that has less than that they share with you, they're not going to show up when you do your cousin searches and everything. So I know if they're doing that, and from the information, if I can remember correctly, I think that in your actual ethnicity report, they are leaving out anything that's below that. So, that's kind of sad because I have quite a bit of interesting things popping up around like the 5th and 6th and on, a little bit on further back, great grandparents. There's some people I think that have come into the picture who are um, different from my British and Irish and all that. Um, Take for instance, like my African and Native American and all that. That's around the time that I believe that they came into the picture. So I'm hoping, not to ramble on too much, but I'm hoping that this test will, regardless of who it actually shows up that I have. I mean, it may not even show my African. It may not, even though 23andMe did, and GEDmatch does, and all that. Ancestry.com does not. It also, Ancestry and 23, neither one of them show my Native American, even though it's in my raw DNA. And when I upload my raw DNA to like GEDmatch or whatever from both companies, it shows up. So yeah, and that's because they're not using the smaller stuff, whereas GEDmatch shows the smaller stuff. Okay. So anyway, so my hope is that this company will, regardless, like I said, of who, whether it be my British, Irish, Italian, or Middle Eastern, or whatever, because apparently I have Middle Eastern uh, and in some tests I have South Asian, I have, just different pieces of Polynesian, all this stuff. So it would be nice if it does show up, but if it doesn't, that's okay. As long as it shows me some timeline of the other stuff. Because 23andMe, when they did all their updates and they got rid of a lot of my stuff and other people's stuff, the timeline just, I mean, it just went, and which the timeline didn't go past 200 years in the first place. But it really narrowed down, like, I think like within the last 100 years or so, and that's kind of sad. Whereas Ancestry doesn't even have a timeline on their thing. Um, but supposedly this company does. Okay. So yeah, that is my hope that I will be able to get that information from this company, and it will kind of help me with my family research and my family tree and whatever. And I just want to see if they do, because supposedly I think it goes back 50 generations. So I want to see if it actually does, personally. Um, so yeah, that would be interesting. And so yeah. The thing is though, it does not show cousin matches or anything like that, at least not at this time. Um, I don't know if that will change in the future. I don't know what the deal is with that. So if that's what you're looking for when you're doing a DNA test, this is not, I would not do this. Only if you're looking for your ethnicity, the different ethnicities that you may have gotten through up to maybe 50 generations ago, then I think this would probably be a good idea. I have watched other people's videos and they seem pretty pleased with it. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Uh, so yeah, and also you cannot do raw, like you cannot download your raw DNA from this company and use it on GEDmatch or any other company. So the only place that, as of right now, that you will be able to see your information is on this company's website. So, okay, but anyway, let's begin. Um, so what you do is you go on this website, the CRI Genetics, you register when you get your kit, and then there's a kit number, which I'm not going to show you, but right here on the side, there's a kit number, and it's also on the vials. So you register that with your name and all that, and set up a password, and then what you do is you take the test and then you send it in, and they've already got right here a label on the box so that you can send it back to them without it costing you anything. And then also, like, you seal it right here, you pull this strip off and you seal the box back together, and there you go. Okay, so I haven't taken the test yet and I'm fixing to do it. Okay, so right here is the instructions. They don't want you to eat or drink anything like an hour before you take the test. Okay, and of course you make sure you register. So what you do is you set that aside. You have your little baggie right here that you put your vials in. You get 2 vials, and then you get 2 of these brush thingies to brush the sides of your cheeks out with for 60 seconds. And then you put it back in the vial and you press the little button on here, and it will drop the brush head with your DNA material in the vial, and then you put the vials in this bag and send it off. Okay. The reason why I think, other than them getting a good sample, I mean, naturally, this is the best way if you do both cheeks to get a good sample of your DNA. I have heard of people who have 2 different sets of DNA. within themselves. Like it's like being two people, even though it's one person. They have the DNA. It's let me see if I can explain it. I think it has to do with absorbing your twin. Maybe if you like if you're in the same egg as a, even though, you know, there's fraternal twins and there's identical twins, but I think there's cases of two sperms fertilizing one egg and all that type of thing. And I think there's two or three different types of fraternal twins. And I think somehow or another, if the egg or the embryo, one embryo absorbs the other embryo, then it can cause a problem with getting the I guess because that person is both, you know, basically two people's DNA. So I guess this would be one way to get that. I don't know what they would do in a situation like that, if they would give you two reports or if they would contact you or how that would work out. But that is an anomaly out there. I don't know how many people have that, but they, you know, it is an anomaly, you know. So, yeah, I just think that that might have something to do with it as well. So, that's just my hypothesis. Excuse me, I'll get it out here in a minute. So, what I'm fixing to do is go ahead and take this test. Okay, I'm going to open this file, and then I'm going to do it and put it in here, and then I'm going to put it in the bag. So, I'm going to spare you having to watch me do this for basically 2 minutes and all that, and I'll be back when I'm through with it. Okay. Okay. So what I do, I thought I'd go ahead and include the last part of this to show you how I'm putting it in the vial. Pushing it down just a little bit. I don't want to push it all the way to the bottom. And then you push that tip and then you come up and then it's in the bottle. So there you go. So now, kind of shake, shake, shake just a little bit. And shake, 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 because I already did this one. So I take these two right here and get my bag and put it. I probably should open my bag first. Make sure these are closed good. Alright, like so. Okay, I'll take this out right here. And then I just put my bag back in here. Close my box up like this. And then pull the tab. If I can get it. Don't tell me I'm going to be here all day pulling on a sticky tab. Okay, so now that I've got that pulled off, I can just close the box down and make sure it's sealed good. Then it's ready to be mailed off back to the lab. So, from what I hear, it takes anywhere from like a month to 2 months to get the results back. So I'm kind of, you know, I can be patient. I've been patient before. So, so if it takes up to 2 months, that's okay. No big deal. So anyway, when the results come back, I will definitely show you guys and everything. So we will talk to you later. Bye.